Games Workshop, in a canon short story from 1999, gave us the name of not only one of the missing Primarchs, but also his legion. It was from a short story called Hell in a Bottle, and it was written by Simon Jowett. The story has appeared in a couple of Warhammer 40k anthologies over the years, and has been retconned, and actually unretconned as well. So it's been quite an influence on the setting, even though it is a very obscure story and mostly flies under the radar. In 2001, a friend who went by Warhammer Aaron was moving away from the Bay Area, and he gave me a grocery bag full of Warhammer books. There were some real gems like First and Only and Xenos, but it was the short story anthology called Into the Maelstrom that really caught my eye. And I read this story, but as some of you know, I was in a severe car wreck and had amnesia, so forgot a lot of my life previously. When someone commented on my video on Malibron, "Hey, what about Rubinek?" my head went spinning as the contents of the short story Hell in a Bottle and the visuals of the Into the Maelstrom anthology cover flew through my mind. Rubinek, the Primarch of the Second Legion, if I recall correctly, and his Ironheart's Legion were mentioned only in this one short story, and they were fighting Chaos Space Marines. Now, I'm not in favor of having a third Space Marine Legion with the word iron in their name, unless it was the Iron Wolves, and then that would just be funny enough to be worth it. But yes, Iron Hearts, and they were definitely around post-heresy. Okay, dumb name, but the Primarch Rubinek isn't that bad, I guess. I mean, it could be worse, right? Now, it must be said that this book was published by Black Library, then it was changed. The passage that refers to Primarch Rubinek and his Legion of Iron Hearts was changed to Chapter Master Rubinek and his Iron Hearts chapter. So they definitely goofed on one level or another. Then supposedly, and this is legend and folklore, I was unable to verify this either way, but supposedly Simon Jowett said that he messed up and meant chapter and chapter master. Okay, that makes sense, except Games Workshop, in an unprecedented move for Warhammer 40k, printed the story again and changed the wording back to the original. Now, the story Hell in a Bottle, in my personal opinion, does not hold a candle to the writing coming out of Black Library now, or even back then. It is not good writing compared to other works, but it isn't really that bad. I didn't much appreciate it back in 2001 when I read it, but rereading it now, I did feel both a sense of nostalgia, and it did a lot to jar my amnesic mind, and funnily enough, brought back a lot of memories from the early 2000s, like my Eldar Wraithlord running roughshod over everything it encountered and going undefeated for the entirety of 3rd edition. But I digress. Now, I have to say, I hate the name Iron Hearts. It sounds like an anime targeting 12-year-old girls that want to join the army when they grow up or something. Maybe I'm wrong, but it does rub me that way. Rubinek, though. So why did Games Workshop redact this and then go back and add it back in? They even published Hell in a Bottle in another anthology called Let the Galaxy Burn. And they aren't denying the story exists, even though you can't buy it anymore. But old paperbacks are still easy to come by. And they went back on changing it, so apparently they wanted to use the wording Primarch and Legion. Is this what Games Workshop intend? How would you feel if they dropped Rubinek and the Iron Hearts on us again? Should they have left it out of the lore completely, ignoring that it ever happened and continuing to sweep it under the rug? I personally didn't like the story that much, so I may be a bit biased. And the Primarch name, it's okay, but certainly not as awesome as Malibron. The Legion name, I could really do without. I mean, what is their Legion iconography? A metallic heart with rivets or something trite and obvious? I don't know. I just don't like it much. Honestly, if I was Games Workshop, I'd declare this one Hereticus Excommunicatus and call down the Exterminatus on it. Then again, maybe the Emperor of Mankind had the Iron Hearts folded into the Ultramarines for having a dumb name and sold their Primarch to the Dark Eldar for